first thing that I found very odd about, this Christian conservative company is they rented 2 stripper vans to take us out to the city. Once we got down to the bars in Arizona, they started getting us drunk.
That's what Turning Point USA is about, and that's what I wanted to continue.
Turning Point USA and closeted gay males. Tyler Boyer, Mikey McCoy, a lot of the Turning Point male staff, they're gay.
Former TPUSA employee Matthew Sharon just dropped a jaw-dropping video showing a chaotic after-party at a Turning Point event, and that's only the start. Matt also claimed that several men inside Turning Point are secretly closeted, even pointing toward one of Erika's longtime friends, which makes this even more explosive. Now Tyler Bauer and a growing list of former staff are stepping forward and exposing what really happens at TPUSA events once the cameras are gone, and what they're saying feels seriously heavy. There are claims that senior officials took young members out in party buses, hitting bars and handing out alcohol, even to recruits who weren't of legal age, which raises major questions. And it keeps getting deeper. More unsettling stories are coming out about people who allegedly worked their way into TPUSA before Charlie's reported removal and quietly planned how to push him out. When you hear what these insiders claim was happening behind.
Is this the attire for the party tonight?
What's that?
Is this the attire for the party tonight?
Oh, no, there's 12 costumes.
12 costumes, okay.
Are you coming?
I am, sir.
Here, take one of these.
Awesome.
Please promote the party. It goes to a good cause. They want a funeral. We are also going to inspire and bring joy and music and laughter. We need to inspire people to be brave.
The scenes, it starts to look like those accusations thrown at Candace may have been more about deflection than truth. So here's where things start getting wild. Matt Sharon has been dropping some serious claims about Turning Point and Erika Kirk, and somehow it's barely getting attention from major outlets. Just recently, Matt posted a short clip from a Turning Point after-party and made it clear. This is what really went down behind closed doors. In the footage, a woman is performing inside a massive wine glass filled with water, putting on a provocative show while drinks are flowing all around, and the crowd is fully locked in. At one point, she even wraps herself in the American flag like a cape, which Matt calls out as straight-up disrespect and a complete break from the values they publicly push. He's basically saying this is the kind of environment young supporters are being pulled into, and it's raising a lot of eyebrows. He also questioned where the so-called standards went, asking, where's the biblical modesty, the respect for sacred symbols, the consistency in fighting degeneracy? Making it clear he believes there's a huge gap between what's preached and what's actually happening. And Matt didn't stop there. He insisted the video is real, unedited, and taken from an event he personally attended, which only adds more weight to his claims. Then he dropped even more receipts. A screenshot of a text conversation with someone else from that same party, who confirmed the event was hosted by James O'Keefe, a known speaker at these gatherings, pushing this whole situation even further into the spotlight. TPUSA events have already faced a long list of troubling accusations and legal controversies, and now these new claims are adding even more heat. What makes this situation even more intense is that Matt's story didn't stand alone. Another attendee stepped forward and backed it up. A woman named Megan Walsh posted on X saying, I also attended a James O'Keefe's networking party in South Florida while there for the TPUSA event. It was pathetic and nasty, literally sweaty and nasty. And James came out with sunglasses and a bulletproof vest as his costume to DJ. What a joke! Her words paint a chaotic and uncomfortable scene, adding another layer to what's being exposed. Now people are starting to ask serious questions. Why is Erika, as the new CEO of Turning Point, still surrounding the organization with figures who are drawing this kind of criticism? And it gets even more surprising. Erika reportedly invited that same James O'Keefe to speak at AmFest 2025, just 3 months after Charlie's reported removal, which has people raising their eyebrows even higher. There's even footage showing O'Keefe at AmFest promoting his Make America Rave Again party, pushing this whole situation further into the spotlight and leaving many wondering what's really going on behind the scenes. And it doesn't stop there. This was the same AmFest where Erika reportedly displayed a replica of the tent where Charlie was shot, set up in a way that allowed people to walk up and take selfies with it, which left a lot of people stunned. Honestly, that moment didn't get nearly enough attention because many felt it crossed a serious line. It wasn't just seen as poor judgment, it came off unsettling and hard to understand. When you stack that next to the claims about James O'Keefe's party, some critics started saying the whole situation felt deeply off, even suggesting it looked like people were being insensitive to what happened to Charlie. James also pushed his party heavily online. On December 19th, he posted, "Make America Rave Again. Join me for the party of the decade at this year's 2025 TPUSA AmFest." And that message only added more fuel to the conversation. When you look at the timing, it raises even more questions. Just 3 months after Charlie's reported death, this major event is being promoted as a high-energy party, branded as the party of the decade. And that contrast is exactly what has people debating whether the tone of it all was appropriate or not. So people are looking at this and asking tough questions. Your husband has only recently passed, and now there's messaging encouraging people to go all out and party. What does that say about priorities and the image being presented? For many watching, that contrast is hard to ignore, and it's exactly why this situation keeps gaining attention.
It's a thing. And I got the scoop, and I'll tell you why. As a former Turning Point employee and somebody who is openly gay, like myself, I'll give you a reason. It's blackmail. Let's talk about it. First of all, the rumors are absolutely true. Tyler Boyer, Mikey McCoy, a lot of the Turning Point male staff. So these conservative organizations will hire these closeted gay men because they have blackmail on them, and that blackmail is leverage for them to do the dirty work.
But let's circle back to Matt Cherone, because that viral party clip with women performing in giant glasses wasn't the only controversy he put on blast. According to Matt, there's more going on beneath the surface at TPUSA, and he didn't hold back when sharing his perspective.
Drugs, etc., in these conservative movements, okay?
Matt, who openly identifies as a gay man, also claimed in a TikTok video that the organization sidelines closeted gay men internally. He even pointed to specific individuals, mentioning Tyler Bauer and Mikey McCoy by name, which instantly turned up the intensity around these allegations and sparked even more debate about what's really happening behind the scenes. And Matt didn't stop there. He made an even more serious claim. He alleged that environments within organizations like Turning Point can pressure closeted men into drinking or using substances, putting them in vulnerable situations. According to him, that kind of setup could make it easier for damaging material to be collected and potentially used against them, which takes these accusations to a whole different level.
And I have a story to tell about when I was at training. We were going to be going out with our former representatives that had shown up from previous years and had been at training in previous years. And they were going to be the ones that were going to show us around the city. So I get paired up with these two specific people who I cannot name currently, but they take us out. And the first thing that I found very odd about, this Christian conservative company is they rented 2 stripper vans to take us out to the city. No strippers, but it was like there were stripper poles inside the vans. Very odd, very unlike, their values, but okay. And then once we got down to the bars in Arizona, they started getting us drunk. The former reps were. And then they started singling out people, and they would pull them out one by one to go outside and smoke like a cigarette. Now, when it was finally my turn to go and talk to them, they approached me and they asked me, hey, what are your views on Israel?
And it keeps getting more intense when you look at what others are saying. Another former TPUSA staff member, Joshua Peterson, recently spoke out and described what he experienced when he was first recruited into the organization. According to Joshua, older members would take new recruits out bar hopping in party-style vans, creating a high-energy scene that quickly got out of control. He also claimed that some of the recruits being encouraged to drink were actually below the legal age, which raises serious concerns and adds even more weight to the growing list of allegations. But here's another detail Joshua brought up that really shifts the tone. He claimed that the senior members who allegedly supplied him with alcohol weren't just regular insiders. According to him, they were foreign agents who had infiltrated Turning Point, which adds a whole new layer of suspicion and makes the situation sound even more serious. And just when it already seemed over the top, things take another strange turn. Erika is now reportedly sending out letters, directly asking people to join her movement, almost like a full-on campaign rollout hitting people's mailboxes. One recipient even shared photos of the pamphlet on X, giving everyone a closer look at what's being sent out. On the front cover, there's a bold image of Erika wearing that same gold outfit from her dramatic AmFest entrance, instantly tying it back to that moment. Then, when you open it up, there's a photo of Charlie pointing toward Erika, which many viewers found very deliberate and hard to ignore. That's where the criticism really ramps up. Some people are saying this comes across as a strong attempt to shape a narrative that Charlie would have supported Erika stepping into this role, even though, according to critics, she wasn't widely known publicly before his reported death. They also point out how she previously leaned into a more private image, focusing on family life and staying out of the spotlight. Now, the sudden shift into a highly visible leadership role has people talking. Those who have been following closely say this is just one of several controversial moments in recent months, including that widely discussed casket video where she was filmed speaking in a quiet, emotional tone, which only added more intensity to the conversation around her actions. From saying, "I love you" over Charlie's body, to that viral Zoom clip where Erika referred to Charlie's memorial as the event of the century, the moments just keep stacking up and drawing more attention. Then came another situation that really got people talking. Reports claiming she went shopping and spent over $1,000 on gym clothes less than 24 hours after Charlie's reported death, which many found hard to process. That's where the really start coming in. If you're about to board a private flight within hours with something as serious as transporting your husband's casket, why focus on a brand new gym wardrobe in that moment? What exactly was the priority there? Critics are asking whether this was about preparing for appearances or something else entirely, because the timing just doesn't sit right with a lot of people. And the biggest issue for many is the silence. Erika hasn't publicly addressed these specific concerns, yet the expectation seems to be that no one should question anything, which is only making the conversation louder. People watching all of this unfold are saying they're simply reacting to what's visible, pointing out moments that feel inconsistent or difficult to explain. At the same time, others push back with the idea that grief looks different for everyone, but critics argue that explanation only goes so far. They point to the combination of events, the party promotions, the controversial displays, and the tone of certain public appearances, and say it creates an image that doesn't align with what many would expect in such a situation. For those following closely, this isn't about one single moment. It's the pattern that stands out. And that pattern is exactly why more people are speaking up, questioning what's really going on, and refusing to just ignore what they feel doesn't add up.